Macro means your overall game sense, your understanding of when, where, and why to do certain things to win, rather than just your mechanical skill. And being an EXP laner, it's all about controlling the map, knowing when to rotate, and turning even a small advantages into game-winning pressure. Today, we're diving deep into the macro gameplay of EXP laners, how to manage waves, rotate at the perfect time, and make smart decisions that separate average players from real pros. So let's dive into the video right away. Remember, when you play in the EXP lane then, during the laning phase, there are tons of ways to deal with your opponent. You can play aggressive, defensive, or just focus on controlling the wave. But ultimately, it all depends on your hero's potential and purpose in the team. So you know that there are basically two main types of fighters. They are the burst type and the semi-tanky fighters. Burst fighters are those who focus on quick executions, heroes that dive straight into the enemy backline, deleting squishy targets like marksmen, mages, or assassins. They rely on combos, positioning, and perfect timing. You go in fast, deal massive damage, and get out before you get punished. Or even you may get punished as well, but it doesn't matter if you get the main threat like marksman or mage of the enemy team. On the other hand, we have semi-tanky fighters, the ones who act as frontliners, play around their sustain, and create space for their team. These are heroes that may not always secure flashy kills, but they control fights, zone enemies, and absorb tons of damage so their teammates can finish the job. And here's something a lot of players forget. If you're playing semi-tanky fighters, you have to say goodbye to kills. You'll get more assists than kills, and that's completely fine. That's what semi-tanky fighters are meant for. You're the one setting up fights, taking hits, and allowing your marksman, mage, or assassin to shine. Sometimes you'll even have to trade your life just to secure an important objective or save a crucial teammate. You might die several times in one game, but as long as each death gives your team a meaningful trade, like securing Lord, winning a fight, or saving your core heroes, it's totally worth it. That's why if you play fighters, you should never chase a high KDA. Because your goal isn't just about getting kills, it's about making smart trades and giving your team an advantage. Many players don't realize this and start blaming themselves for having low kills or high deaths, but that's not what defines a good EXP laner. As a fighter, you have a huge responsibility. You don't just have to deal damage like a marksman or mage. You also should help in setting up fights like a tank does. Now see here in the turtle fight, my main goal is to kill or give damage to the enemy hyper. So because I marked directly to the Lancelot and killed him. So the turtle was easy to get, and we also won the team fight. Watch my setup here. I thought I was dead, but this Ruby is basically a broken hero. So because of that setup, it was easy to win this team fight.
Let's go, bro! Let's see!
As an EXP laner, you're basically doing two roles at once. You deal damage and you protect your team. That's why I always respect great fighter players. They might not get the spotlight like assassins or mages, but they carry the team silently through good decision-making, map control, and clutch setups. People often see tanks as the heroes who lead the team. And yes, tanks deserve that respect. But fighters have an even more demanding role. You're the bridge between damage and defense, between chaos and control. Every good EXP laner understands this. Your real strength isn't just in your mechanics, but in your macro. Knowing when to rotate, when to split push, when to dive, when to back off, and when to die for value. That's what separates an average fighter from a truly professional EXP laner. So before choosing fighter as your main role, remember this. Your worth is not in your KDA, it's in your impact. Your sacrifices, your setups, and your decision-making are what lead your team to victory.
मार छोड़ो रे भाई अरे भेज चोट
So here, I already know the potential of my hero, and that's exactly why I'm always the one to start and set up the fights. See, as an EXP laner, knowing your hero's limits and strengths is everything. It decides how you enter fights, where you position yourself, and what role you play during every team clash. For example, let's say I was using Paquito with a full damage build instead of Ruby in this match. In that case, I wouldn't be the one diving in first or setting up fights. Instead, I'd play more patient and sneaky.
अरे गोला बैठ चलो ना अरे लाउला उतारे Mother go!
So yeah, if I were damage fighter, I'd wait for my teammates to start the fight first. Let the enemies get distracted, and the moment their attention shifts, that's when I'd go in from the side or the back line and burst their key targets like the marksman or mage. That's how you play a damage fighter, by finding the perfect timing to assassinate high-value enemies. But right now, I'm playing Ruby, and she's completely different. Ruby is the type of hero who needs to be at the front, absorbing pressure, catching enemies off guard, and creating openings for the team. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using her strengths to set up fights instead of waiting for others. I'm the one who jumps in first, stuns the enemies, and holds them in place so that my teammates can follow up and secure kills. And even though Ruby is a semi-tanky hero, I still use my hit-and-run strategy just like I do with Paquito. I engage, deal some damage, control enemies with my crowd control, and if my HP gets too low, I don't force the fight. I back off a bit, use Ruby's spell vamp and healing potential to recover, and then go back in again to continue the setup. This allows me to fight continuously, going in, pulling enemies, stunning them, recovering HP, and then repeating the process. It's like a rhythm. Engage, sustain, reset, and engage again. That's what makes Ruby so valuable in team fights. She can keep fighting non-stop while making it almost impossible for enemies to move freely. And that's why understanding your hero's potential is so important. You can't play every hero the same way. The strategy you use for Paquito doesn't work for Ruby, and the mindset you use for Yuzhong doesn't fit Thamuz. Every hero has a different job, a different timing, and a different macro approach, from early game to mid to late game. So before you act in a fight, always know your hero's potential. If your hero is a burst type, stay patient. Wait for the perfect moment to enter. If your hero is a semi-tank or CC type like Ruby, be the first one to make the play, to start the fight, and to create that opportunity for your teammates.
अरे साला पहिरादार मादर
As you can see how effective the hero is if you play the potential of them. Because of my constant stuns and setup, my teammates got a very less burden to deal with, because I was the one to soak up the damage and stun them at the same time and recover through the spell vamp. Now this is another game with Ruby, and this time I'm up against Alucard in the EXP lane. So now another thing I always say is, know your enemy and your own potential. That's the key to winning, or if not winning, then at least you can maintain your lane. Here, my opponent is Alucard, and he's using Vengeance as his battle spell. That changes the strategy completely. See, I can actually win against Alucard in the early game in terms of raw damage, but because he has Vengeance, I can't realistically beat him head-on until around level 3. So what I do instead is that I bait out his Vengeance. I try to make him waste it early in the trade. Once he uses it, I just back off and heal up safely. Ruby has a big advantage in that sense. She can heal from a distance using her first skill. She doesn't need to go close to the enemy to lifesteal. But Alucard does. He needs to get right up in your face to get his spell vamp. So that's my advantage. I'll heal from far away, safely, while slowly chipping his HP. And once I'm healed enough, that's when I start bullying him. Like, I'll zone him away from the minion wave so he can't farm properly. But after level 4, the strategy completely changes again. Once both of us get our ultimates, my main goal is to force him to use his ultimate first. As soon as he activates it, I'll back away immediately. Just wait out the duration. And once his ult is over, I'll go back in and punish him hard. That's because without his ultimate, Alucard loses his burst healing and mobility advantage. Ruby can easily out-sustain and out-control him after that. Another strong strategy here is to cut the lane in order to help teammates. Alucard alone can't really stop Ruby from doing that because of her massive spell vamp. Even if he tries to fight me while I'm cutting, he won't be able to kill me unless his teammates come to help. Both of us have spell vamp, yes. But the difference is, Ruby gets her healing from the enemy minions while staying relatively safe, while Alucard has to risk coming closer to heal. That's why in most cases, I actually come out with more HP from these trades. So I can confidently cut the wave, force pressure, and even rotate early to help my teammates. So yeah, those are the 3 main strategies I use when playing Ruby against Alucard. First is to bait out his Vengeance and heal from range. Second, wait out his ultimate before fighting back. And third is to cut the lane safely to pressure the map and help the team. Ruby's Flicker ultimate combo is honestly one of the best things about her kit. I really love this combo. It's super satisfying to pull off, and it can completely change the outcome of a team fight. You can pull your enemies inside the turret and kill them, like I did just now. Or even use it to pull them near your teammates. But yeah, it's not just about using Flicker with her ultimate. There are actually a few different Flicker combos you can use with Ruby. Like, one of my favorites is the Flicker plus second skill combo. You flicker forward and instantly use your second skill right after. This instantly stuns the enemy. Then, you quickly follow up with your ultimate, which pulls them again and extends the total crowd control duration. And that duration is enough to kill the enemies. This combo is extremely effective during Lord or Turtle fights. The timing is everything here. You want to use it right when the enemy jungler is about to use Retribution on the objective. By stunning them for that long, you completely deny their chance to retro-battle your jungler. That means your hyper has a huge advantage and can secure the objective easily without having to fight for Retribution timing. Not only that, this combo also gives your team a perfect chance to turn the fight around because enemies are grouped together and locked in place for a long time. So if you're playing Ruby and you have Flicker ready, always keep this combo in mind, especially near major objectives. A well-timed Flicker plus second skill plus ultimate can literally decide who gets the Lord, and sometimes even the game itself. We completely dominated this game from the very beginning. Honestly, I didn't even have to do much in this one. I did a couple of nice setups and helped in some team fights, but overall my teammates were the ones who carried most of the pressure. It wasn't a very intense match. Kinda calm and a little boring, to be honest. But sometimes that's fine. What matters is that we secured an easy win, and a free star is always a good reward for a chill game like this.
निकल रहे हैं भयंकर निकल मादर
So in this match, I decided to play Lapu Lapu, mainly because I wanted to show you a different kind of situation, something that helps you understand even more about how to handle various matchups. And yeah, before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Now in this game, my opponent is Cho, and to be honest, I have the complete advantage here. Lapu Lapu is naturally a stronger laner than Cho, especially in the early game. On top of that, he's playing damaged Cho, which makes things even easier for me. Even if he's really good mechanically, which, let's be honest, he's not in this game. One small defensive item like Dreadnought armor is already enough to counter him. Now see, this is the advantage of watching the minimap, even while you're fighting. So here I noticed my Hyper was farming on my side of the lane, while Gushin and Cho tried to corner me when I was already at half HP. Instead of panicking, I decided to pull them closer to my tower, and that small decision completely turned the fight. We managed to kill both of them easily. That's why awareness matters so much. Even a quick look at the minimap can completely change the outcome of a fight. So in games like this, I can play very flexibly. I can either bully Cho in lane, rotate to help my team, or just do anything that helps us dominate the game faster. For Lapu Lapu, the playstyle is a little different from Ruby's. Ruby is more about setting up fights, stunning enemies, healing back her HP, and then rejoining the battle again and again. On the other hand, Lapu Lapu focuses more on soaking damage, dealing heavy burst, and sustaining himself through his lifesteal and shield. He can also stun, but not as much as Ruby does. So yeah, both heroes have their own strengths. You just have to adapt your playstyle according to which one you're using. Personally, I'd say Ruby and Lapu Lapu are somewhat similar in how they take fights, but the main difference is in their mobility and safety. With Ruby, you can easily jump in and pull back out because of her CC and sustain. But with Lapu Lapu, once you charge in, there's no going back unless you have Flicker or your team to back you up. As for the current meta, I'd say Lapu Lapu has a slight upper hand right now. His early damage, sustain, and ultimate timing just fit really well. But metas always change, so it wouldn't be a surprise if Ruby becomes dominant again later on. What I really love about Lapu Lapu is the duration of his ultimate. It's short but super impactful. You can make so much happen in just that few seconds. And actually, Ruby is quite similar in that way. Her ultimate duration is also short, but if used right, it can completely change the fight. Just watch his regeneration, man. It's insane if there are a lot of minions and enemies with no anti-heal.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
So guys, that's it for today's video. There are definitely more small macro tips that I haven't covered yet, but don't worry, I'll be diving into those in some of my other videos soon. I really hope you were able to learn something useful from today's session because these small details can make a big difference in your gameplay. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on the upcoming tips and guides. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay sharp, and keep improving.